our drive to Sheikhpura to see Hiran Minar, we pass some of my favorite scenes of the Punjab region. And I love watching the children running in from the rice fields to a cozy mud house in the distant verdant green of the fields where they have worked all of the day. The flitting sights, intermittent pools of water, mirror the Indus blue skies. As I cruise past, watching the reflecting yellow sunlight shimmering like gold between the swaths of tall grass, this is where I rejuvenate, switching phones off. Seeing all turning down the day, tugging at their beasts of burden, the oxen and cow being pulled in by the elders, I can picture the Mughals having once been here. And today we are heading to Hiran Minar, which literally means the Tower of the Deer. To the walled city, I'm now moving to the contiguous areas of Lahore. Here I am in Hiran Minar, which is this incredible tower built by Jahangir. And if you look and see, it's got 214 holes. And what this tower was used for was it was actually a sort of hunting lodge in 1606 when he first built it. And people would come from areas all around the Indus River Plain, the Punjab province, which I'm in now. And actually, I found out Punjab means 5 rivers. And this area is lush and full of waterways, tributaries, lakes. And in fact, Jahangir chose exactly this spot for its lake, which I'm going to take you to in a second. So this tower is actually built, and its namesake is after an antelope. That was his most beloved pet, Hiran Minar. And Hiran Minar, the antelope, is actually buried just behind the tower, which I'll take you to in just a second to see. And animal husbandry back then was in its heyday, and it first started actually. And originally, all those 214 holes had trophies of heads of animals that Jahangir had killed in his hunts. And of course, the tower, much like we have back in Texas, is a great lookout point for finding deer, antelope, whatever other animals you might be hunting for food or for protection. And as I have mentioned in previous stories in the walled city, Jahangir was married to Noor Jahan. And Noor Jahan was an incredible shot. And in fact, she outdid her own husband even. And I do believe she visited here quite frequently. Jahangir's wife, he was very proud of her. She was 10 years older or about, and older than he. And he must have been a very confident man, because she was once on an elephant making her way into the provincial capital of Lahore back then, and she shot 5 lions in the space of about 2 minutes, or 45 seconds to 2 minutes from the beginning to the end. So she was famous for being a great shot. So now I am approaching the lake, which is absolutely huge. So the name of that little antelope of the 5th Mughal, Jahangir, was actually Mansraj. And this tower, Hiran Minar, is 100 feet high, but it's very similar to its preceding tower that wasn't here. Nimsarai Minar had also many holes just like this, but instead of holding heads and trophies of animals that had been shot and hunted, instead it was human heads from local rebels who were shot and killed and hunted. Isn't it interesting how we have an animal that's made into a sanctuary of a tower to host heads of animals that have been killed? We humans are so odd. The sun is setting over the rice fields and Hiran Minar, the 100-foot structure. Here's where his beloved antelope, Mansraj, was buried. He's in here somewhere. I'll just have to trust it. I've looked through every peephole and I don't see antelope structure or anything, or antlers of an antelope. But the 214 little inulets and holes that you see all throughout the 100 feet of the structure once held animal heads and antlers, which were all trophies of Jahangir and his team, his posse, or visitors, hunters who came. But I think primarily those trophies that were in 214 slots were trophies from Jahangir's hunts. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them came from his wife, who was the more famous, notorious hunter, known for shooting 5 lions on top of an elephant within the space of 45 seconds to apparently 2 minutes, as basically a sharpshooter female. Breathtaking is the only description, though words do this place little justice. In this heavy heat, the breeze that begins to relieve and forgive as one walks across the causeway, a bridge leading you from the semi-wild of this Punjab land to the pavilion. Upon entering, the sweet sound of birds echoes and lilts throughout the high stone chambers, and the view is compartmentalized by the surrounding arches. One can understand why the Mughals used this for recreational purposes. My recreation in this regard is to stride gently. Chose this impressive place because of this beautiful lake. The Mughals then built a stunning octagonal bardari at the center of this massive pool, which they also impressively designed brick ramps that slope into the water, providing access for wild game that was sought by the hunters. This gorgeous pavilion, octagonal pavilion, was built by Jahangir's successor, Shah Jahan. He built it right in the middle of this beautiful, glorious lake. And today I can see kids and families on boats. Oh, it's so nice. Every time I walk in front of one of these openings, I get this incredibly cool, nice, serene breeze. When Jahangir designed the lake before he put the tower, which he dedicated to his hunting, and then later the burial site for his beloved pet, the antelope, Mansraj. And if you look around these 4 corners of this lake, you'll see these sloping areas that were used for animals to come in and bathe and come back out and have their drinking water. There was a lot of consideration for animals. So in late June here in Punjab, I'm in the city of Sheikhpura. It is pretty hot outside, but you can see that when Shah Jahan made this, it was a great place for recreation. This octagonal pavilion also has pavilions above me, not just these here. And it is built on a gazebo, so it has a gazebo effect at the top. So it's actually extremely cool in here, which is why I did the round for that breeze to come through. And the tranquility of the water here is really something else. It is a 2-story building topped off with a rooftop chhatri, which is basically a very romantic looking stoned gazebo. And there goes the family on a boat there. And honestly, if there is reincarnation, I've decided I want to come back as a bird and fly and roost around here. I'm being waved at. Hello! Assalamu alaikum! They're having so much fun. I can hear their laugh from up here. Hello, sisters and baby. Ah. So I'm guessing, actually, looking, that this grassy slope that's coming down, that there would have been the 4th Mughal, Jahangir, who would have designed that natural, because it was really important for him that the setting was still like literally part of the wilderness. And so there, that is not stone unless it's overgrown. I bet it is slightly overgrown, but it's very wide, and clearly elephants, because lots of elephants came from the Punjab area of what's India today. And this is where they would have come, and what a wonderful source of water. My God, it makes you feel terrible for places like Africa, you know, where the droughts are going on. You think, wow, honestly, this would be the best place to be poor, because you will always have plenty of food, fish, not to mention the community here. If Pakistan gets its management together, it will prosper, much like the Mughals that were here to see what they did back in their day today. And this is their history, is it not? And on my way walking back across the bridge, I could feel the wind blowing through my chest as the wild herons and butterflies skim alongside me. I realized then that I had attracted quite a few of the locals' attention, and they received me with a huge, warm welcome, which was massively flattering. Assalamu alaikum. मेरा नाम Kirsten है. आपका नाम है. Officer, nice to meet you. Hello, sister. How are you? Walaikum salam. Hello, sister. Very good to meet you. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Thank you. Shukriya. All these phones. Sure. Okay. That's fine. And I was then ushered and convinced to get into a boat of my own for a private spin around the ancient Mughal pool. So now I am going to go with a very huge crowd. I like that there's a crowd here, because I'm beginning to think that all my viewers, hello, how are you? I'm beginning to think all my viewers think I'm a complete loner and have 0 friends. It's really nice to have this crowd, because I'm starting to worry that my fans and my viewers and my audience think that I have 0 friends whatsoever, because in Kirsten with Lahore, it looks like I'm always like traveling alone, eating alone. I'm about to go in a boat alone, but I actually have 1,000 friends. Look at this, I've got loads of friends. Okay. Oh no, they're gonna make me wear a wet life jacket over my antique Irish dress. This is actually my birthday dress. My birthday was just this last week, and my daughter's got this for me. And I thought I would wear it to Sheikhupura, to an ancient, this is ancient lace, So I thought my grandmother was Irish, red-headed Irish woman. O'Connor was her last name, Ethel O'Connor. And I thought I should wear my lace to this ancient place. 1606. Can you imagine finding this lake in the 17th century, 16th and 17th century? What wonderful insight Jahangir had to build a hunting lodge here. Assalamu alaikum. Aap kaise hai Marani? TikTok. This I'm not going to wear. No. I don't want to wear. I can swim. Put it down. Although the men are very respectful, sometimes you wish they weren't so respectful, like when you need help getting on a boat. At least I'm not wearing high-heeled shoes. I hope I'm not too heavy to be on one side of this thing. Sit on that side. We won. We're in first. I'm American. It all has to be deduced to competition, doesn't it? Yeah. Aha. Oh, this feels so good. Right at sunset, right at sundown in the Punjab. Punjab, the place of 5 rivers. So this lake actually has a lot of people on it. And the pavilion was dedicated to recreation. And you see so much recreation here today. People out having a nice time with their families, their friends, huge groups of people, best friends in the little twosome things, riding bike boats, whatever those are called. They look like bike boats. I'll wait till we get over there. I wonder if Jahangir came out on the water. They must have bathed here. Certainly they would have on their hunting trips. It's so incredibly hot. But I also imagine they must have come out in canoes or some kind of flatboats like you see in Kashmir today, those 300- and 400-year-old houseboats. I hope we can do Kirsten with Kashmir. Inshallah. Oh, look at that sun going down. Oh, it's so splendiferous. There are rare times that you could actually use that word. Splendor, splendiferous. Look at this little bitty bird twittering about. You know, I know that I read a book that the birds that come to this part of the world migrate down from sort of Siberia, Russia, and you get some of the most ancient birds. So this is a huge destination here in the Punjab for ornithologists and bird watchers. And I tell you what, all the hustle and bustle, daily life, and school runs, and all the rest of it that we all deal with on a daily basis, there is nothing like getting out in nature to soothe your insides. All the depression we have and all the mental illness we're facing today, all the instability, just a good dose of nature in the wilderness can really set one straight. I feel much better. I see an egret. I feel much better from being out here on this water. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. I love it. Do you live here? Punjabi. And what time do you finish here? So, is your family? Did your father work on this lake? Shekhapura. These people are pedaling away. I really admire that because I tell you, I'm too lazy to pedal a boat. This is much more my cup of tea. In fact, cup of tea sounds good. Wow, fast. The guy thought that was nice. The girl was like, look at that pavilion. So you can see at the top, the pavilion, the octagonal pavilion. You can see it's a 2-story octagonal structure with a stone gazebo on the top. And the views were so breathtaking up there. Look at you can see on the side of that pavilion the different levels that the water's been because of there's erosion. There was like a basement to this. And I guess as the waters like rise and fall, I was very rebellious, and I'm so sorry because my dear friend here, I refused to wear my life jacket. But a little secret about me that I'll share with you is in my younger days, in my 20s, I went to school in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I studied poetry and religion, world religion, with a focus on Islam, actually, back before 9/11 and all of this terrorism. And I got a job on ski patrol because my parents had a house in Taos, and then in the summers I was recruited to go over to the summer job, otherwise I'd have no job when the snow melted. And I worked on the Rio Grande River as a whitewater rafting guide. I never flipped a boat. I may not have been the biggest hot dogger or hot shotter. I was a bit more safe playing as a river guide, but I actually can guide class 5 rivers. I can guide boats through class 5 rivers with about 8 people on the boat, including myself, and I can back a trailer into something like this. Well, I could in my 20s anyway. But when I look at the river, the big Indus, the big wide raging Indus up north, there's no way I'm putting a toe in that. However, I went ahead and I said I will forego the life jacket because I've got a Swiftwater rescue badge and certificate that's good for a lifetime. And I tell you what, I could swim out of here if I fell in. I might ruin my microphone, which I don't think Off-Pub would be happy about, but I'd still make it. Hello, sweetie. At home. Bye, thank you. Shukriya. Shukriya. Allah Hafiz. Okay.
What's your name?
मेरा नाम Kirsten है. Are you from Punjab?
Yes.
Punjabi. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful and so calm. So peaceful. So nice. Shukriya, thank you for having me here as a guest. Thank you for having me as a guest. You're welcome. Yes, please. Fort was also built during the reign of Jahangir. This is only relied upon through the mentioning from his autobiography, Tuzuk-e-Jahangiri. Upon that, the emperor was assigned to construct a fort to Sikandar Muin on his hunting trip in 1607 to Hiran Minar, as we know, was constructed just the year prior. And this fort is rife with historical controversy, accordingly, as it is said to have served as a hiding place for bandits raiding the area. Politically, the fort emerged during the consolidation of Sikh Raj in Punjab. The Durrani King Shah Zaman, during his invasion of Lahore in 1797, he besieged the fort from robbers until a succession of Sheikh rulers connected to the Rajat Singh followed. The fort changed hands throughout until 1808, when Maharaja Rajat Singh marched upon the fort, forcing its surrender. And then he presented it to his wife, Datar Kaur, who lived there until the day she died. Less romantically, however, the Sheikhpura fort was used for house arrest of Maharaja's last queen, Rani Jindan, the mother of Maharaja Duleep Singh. The British Raj caused this ruthless separation of a mother from her 9-year-old son. Sir Henry Montgomery Lawrence recommended that this last queen, Rani Jindin, be banished from Punjab in 1846. And as a result of his letter, they sent her son, Dulip Singh, to Shalimar Garden. All of this happened right here, among this pile of rubble, which remarks the strong impact this fort had all over the Punjab, from Delhi to Afghanistan, and how sad it is today, brick upon brick upon brick of rubble, like successive ruler overtaking ruler, overtaking ruler, overtaking arrests, down to this. So if you're looking for Pakistan's Game of Thrones, this is it, Sheikhupurian Fort. And rumor has it, it was built in 1607, just 1 year after Hina Minar, where we just came from, which is the famous, beautiful octagonal pavilion and hunting lodge, basically from the Mughal Emperor hunting lodge. But rumor has it that all these rocks here, with a twist of a certain hand, would turn into massive flocks of vampire bats. I just made that up. But all kidding aside, the Mughals were fierce warriors with a great sense of mystere around them. And as we round this corner in the Sheikhapuran Fort, you'll be able to see the crenellated ceilings where they would basically ward off all the various offenders who used to come and attack this area. And the Mughals were not only the fiercest warriors, but they were also the richest warriors. And to date, they're considered, of their time, relatively speaking, the wealthiest of all emperors. And the fourth emperor, Jahangir, was actually called, I know it's a great idea to have heels going down these very steep, rocky steps in a fort, but Jahangir was actually nicknamed Sheikhupurian. Hence, this entire town, Sheikhupurian, is named after Jahangir. I found this day in Sheikhupura to be incredible, most especially the beauty and the splendor of the ancient Mughal lake, a perfect respite from the summer heats of Lahore. And that spectacular drive, timed right at sunset, is part of the journey itself, if you ask me. If you're looking for a day to appreciate history, wildlife, nature, and to have a little fun here in Pakistan in the Punjab, then Hira Manar truly is the perfect place for you.